The greatest New Jersey networking event is back. This is the IssuesWatch podcast. Hi, I'm Jeff Kazerman, Vice President of Government Relations at the New Jersey Society of CPAs, and welcome to the IssuesWatch podcast. Today we're going to talk about the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce's Walk to Washington, which is coming back February 6th and 7th after a 5-year hiatus. I have attended every year since 1988, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's a one-of-a-kind event that's fantastic for networking and business development, having fun, and getting the inside scoop on what's really happening in New Jersey. And while it's called the Walk to Washington, don't worry, you don't actually have to walk there. We'll get into that later. With me today to discuss the Walk to Washington is Kevin Friedlander, Senior Vice President of Communications and Events at the Chamber. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Jeff.
Also joining us is June Toth, Principal at Wilkin Gutton Plan, and the current NJCPA President. She's participated in this premier event many times. Welcome, June.
Thank you for having me.
So, Kevin, let's start with you. Can you give us sort of a brief history and explanation of just what this Walk to Washington is?
Yeah, first I want to just thank you for inviting me on the podcast, and I just want to say what a great partner the CPA Society is, NJCPA, with the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce, not only on the Walk to Washington, but throughout the year.
Thank you.
So the Walk to Washington is an event that the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce has been doing, believe it or not, since 1937. It started with a group of individuals going to Washington, D.C. just to have dinner with the New Jersey congressional delegation. And it has morphed into one of the most iconic events in New Jersey.
That's for sure.
We rent an Amtrak train, and then we bring everybody down to Washington, usually around 900 people. And then once in Washington, we go to a hotel, this year the Omni Shoreham, and we have a dinner that honors our congressional delegation. There's lots of networking. It's 36 hours of intense networking, and the who's who of New Jersey attends the event.
That's for sure.
Yes.
So the event has been on hiatus for 5 years because of, I believe, because of COVID. But it's coming back. Everybody's been looking forward to it. I've been very sad that it hasn't been around for the past 5 years. But so is there going to be anything different about it this year than in the past?
Yeah, so first, yes, we took a 5-year hiatus. And the reason for that was obviously because of COVID, but then also getting back into the Amtrak schedule was quite a task. And then also the Marriott Warman Park Hotel, where we traditionally had the event, closed, and we had to find a new hotel. So we found the Omni Shoreham Hotel, which is located right next door.
Right down the hill.
We could have done it in 2024, but we decided to wait until 2025 because it is a New Jersey gubernatorial election year. And traditionally, the Walk to Washington is the kickoff for the gubernatorial campaign for the year. And so you asked some of the exciting things or changes that are going to happen. So for this year, we've invited all the gubernatorial candidates to attend, and we've got them pretty much all committed except for one we're still waiting to hear from. And the big change is our dinner. So we take everybody down on an Amtrak train, and then traditionally the old Walk to Washington, we called it the Congressional Dinner, where everybody would be sitting at a table of 10 and they'd be listening to speeches for 3 hours.
We don't like that.
What we've heard from our members, and we had a dais of like 70 people. What we've heard from our members is if you're going to bring this trip back, we want more networking. People like more face-to-face networking with each other. So we're turning the dinner, the sit-down dinner, into a long, extended dinner buffet reception where there's just networking. We'll still do a speaking program, but it'll be much abbreviated, hoping that all our speakers stay to 5-7 minutes. And then we'll go right back to the networking.
Okay.
And then on Friday morning, we're going to have a breakfast featuring the gubernatorial candidates and asking them what their top issues are and how they plan to grow the economy and move New Jersey in a great direction economically moving forward.
Let's, June and Kevin, let's elaborate a little bit on what this walk to Washington, is really a train ride. Took me a long time to figure out they call it walk to Washington because people are walking back and forth on the train. Let's just take a, can you give us a feel, Kevin, for, how that works? I mean, I know I have typically, the train stops at several places.
Yep.
Starts, I think, in Newark, then Metro Park, Philadelphia, maybe even Wilmington, picks up people. And what's happening? What's so exciting about being on this train? Is everybody just sitting there waiting to get to Washington, or what's going on?
Lots of walking.
Exactly. So it's called the Walk to Washington because we're not actually walking the whole way to Washington physically, but we're on the train. But most people, they elect not to sit down, and it's just like a rolling networking reception. Everybody gets assigned a car, and pretty much you just throw your luggage down there. And then the rest of it is just getting to know people from different industries, and there's government officials on the train. There are college presidents, people from all industries, all parts of New Jersey. So most people aren't sitting. It's
Right.
just, you're just networking. And everybody, some people, it's their thing to walk the whole train,
Right.
though, from front to back. And others, they just stand in one place and let everybody pass
That's what
them.
I do.
Yeah.
Or what they do is when the train stops to pick up new passengers, they jump off, they walk down the platform, and then jump onto another
That's
car so
cheating.
they don't walk all the way through.
That's cheating.
But to me, the experience is walking from one end of that train to another, and meeting and greeting people, and it's such a terrific vibe on that train. Everybody's really excited to be there. It's almost like a coming home. Hey, I haven't seen you. And I think that environment is just going to be electric coming after not having it for 5 years.
Yeah. So, just a little bit of, so what did we do in the past 5 years? We had a business summit in Atlantic City
Right.
where we brought together 900 people to discuss issues, and it was a 2-day event, and it was a very big success. CPA Society was part of it. And, but a lot of our board members and a lot of our attendees said, we really missed the walk to Washington. So that's one of the main reasons we brought it back also, because people missed that face-to-face 2-day networking, being on the train, going to Washington, D.C. And once again, the main purpose is to go down to D.C. And honor our congressional delegation that does a lot for New Jersey.
Right. And I would encourage the CPA community to participate and appear in full force, because particularly for this year, there's so many issues coming up in terms of the gubernatorial election. You have actual face time with decision makers and members of business and industry throughout the state. It's a wonderful opportunity to, be in the forefront and have those conversations, meet people, strengthen other relationships that you have. I just think it's a great opportunity for the CPA community.
June, do you have any particular experiences or things you can remember from some of your prior trips that you'd like to share?
I do recall, actually, that Ed Guttenplan and I had sat down next to each other on the train, and that's what really deepened our relationship and ended up with me joining the firm. But that was one of the side benefits. But I've been on that train with other past presidents such as Sarah Crom, and to this day we still talk about our experiences being on the train. And of course, at the end of one car ride was, I believe it was the State Police Union with their famous Mutz sandwiches, which how much more New Jersey can you get than a fresh Mutz?
I guess not much more. Bruce Springsteen, maybe?
Could be.
Eating the sandwich?
But I have been on during gubernatorial years where we've had the candidates, walk the car train. So that's also pretty exciting for some people to see that and be that close. And as you're going through the cars, to your point with the delegation from New Jersey, members of the Assembly and the Senate, They are there for you, and we'll take your questions, and it's a great opportunity to have those conversations, and we're their constituents, so they want to hear from us.
Right. And so, Kevin, how can people learn more about the event and register for it?
Yeah, so we have all the information about this event posted to our website, njchamber.com. We're constantly posting information on our social media channels. So just go to them, check them out. And the train schedule's there, how to register, there's sponsorship information. So it's just and just the agenda for the speaking program at the reception. All the information's at njchamber.com.
Okay, and I should add that the society is, as an association, is sending about 15 people. I'll be there, June will be there, so if anybody's coming, let us know and we'll make sure to stay in touch with you. But do you have any last thoughts or things to add, June?
I am just really looking forward to the event after having the 5-year hiatus. I think it's a great opportunity. Perfect time of year in terms of what's happening in New Jersey. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope everybody joins us.
Kevin, any last words?
Yeah, so once again, we did not do this in the past 5 years, but the reception that we've had, the registrations, the interest from sponsors, and just the general media and everything has been very positive. So we're expecting a very lively, exciting return of the Walk to Washington. And once again, the gubernatorial candidates will be on the train. We've invited the governor to speak at the dinner. It'll be the last time he speaks at this dinner. And Senator Cory Booker and Andy Kim, people will hear from him. So just a lot going on. Once again, check out njchamber.com. And if you want 36 hours of intense networking and build your book of business.
And fun. Lots of fun.
And fun, then I highly encourage you to attend.
And I would personally endorse and recommend going. Definitely is my favorite political event of the year. But it's not just political. It is also, as Kevin and June were saying, business oriented. There's business leaders, there's political leaders, leaders from the nonprofit world. It's just great. So thanks again for joining us, Kevin, June.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks for listening or watching. To learn more about the Walk to Washington, visit njchamber.com.